Mic check, mic check. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning. What's going on? What's this market doing? Market's freaking flat again, man. Bitcoin's holding. I'm just going to give it a couple minutes, let some people hop on, and we'll get started. Okay, so let's look at what we're currently, the range we're in right now. I could see today being very slow. I can already just tell from the people online. Crappy levels to be trading at. The make or break level, as in last night's video, the best one to be watching is going to be 609.75. This is yesterday's previous closing price. If you looked at how we ended yesterday, we literally closed at the exact high of the day. Very strong close, and you could tell in the pre-market and after hours we could not hold this level. So first thing I'm going to watch is the previous resistance level that we had on SPY. I'm going to mark that down. So pretty much I'm just looking, you see on my screen right now, you see this roof that we have, right? This is a big resistance level. So in the morning trading session. So I'm going to pretty much try to touch as many candlesticks as possible. So there we got a nice key level right now at 608.25. It just so happens the 200 EMA and the 200 moving average is right at this level. If we do get a drop, it's going to most likely bounce at this range. After that, let's take a look at here. 607.39 looks like a floor, and these are micro levels. Keep that in mind. All right, you see over here how we ended up holding this as a support, resistance, support, resistance, right? So this is another level, 607.38, and these are the levels if you do decide to trade today. And I'm just trying to give you guys some levels, but me personally, I freaking hate this price action. And then right after that, we got 606.91. Now, if we scroll out and look at the daily right now, I want you guys to see how many open gaps there are on SPY, right? When you first get into trading, you need to understand cycles. There's buying cycles and there's selling cycles. And right now, we're just in the buying cycle of the trading, right? There's yet to be a selling cycle since the run-up, since this big drop in price movement we've been having since the 570. So let's look at the gaps. We got one gap, 584.40, right? We have another gap at 594. We have another gap that did not fill at 597.67. We have another gap to fill at 603.17, right? And we have another gap to fill at the top at the exact high, which is 609.75. So when you are looking at this, this is the bull cycle, and the bear cycle is going to come and fill these gaps eventually. There's way too many lower gaps in the span of 7 trading days, right? Way too many gaps. This is a pump. Just like when we had big rips, you see right here, we had a very similar rip. We ended up going to the 560s and ended up dropping all the way back down to the 536s, right? So we could potentially have a drop in a bear cycle at least 20 to 30 points, which would bring us all the way to fill the gaps around the 594 level, right? Obviously, extreme bearishness will come back down to fill the 584. within time, it's most likely going to fill. A lot of people are bullish. So the way I'm looking at this right now, right? If you look at cryptocurrency, all the financial markets, right? Every single person exposed to any investment in the financial markets are up. Anyone invested in cryptocurrency is up money. Anyone invested in the stock market is up money, right? And most of the people in real estate are up money, right? For the most part, unless you bought in the last couple of months. But you get what I'm saying? Like every investment right now is green. Because this is a bull cycle. This is a buy cycle. There is going to be a sell cycle. There's going to be a sell cycle where people are going to lose money. As of right now, obviously, if you don't sell right now, you're being greedy, right? This is extreme greed, in my opinion. But for the most part, just keep that in the back of your head. Like anyone you know that is in crypto or is in the stock market, in pretty much any freaking stock or crypto, like the big ones, you're extremely green on them, right? So again, a buy cycle, a bull cycle. Now we got to wait for the bear cycle to come in. So even though everything is extremely bullish right now, and then we could still pump to 620 if SPY wanted to, right? I'm not saying we have to end now. Once we start seeing some bearish confirmation on the 4-hour and the daily time frame, swing trading is going to be make a lot of money. I got some big plays that I'm very excited for, but again, I'm patiently waiting. There's no guarantees to anything, and I'm just waiting for my entry. I'm just waiting for the confirmation to get in, and there's going to be a lot of money to get made. But for right now, this is extremely overbought in all financial markets, in my honest opinion, right? So as of right now, we just have levels to be watching. If you just look at the daily right now, we have a big level around the 605.80s level, right? Look at the previous resistance from the previous all-time highs and look at the exact floor of support on the daily, right? 605.80. Previous resistance. Now we have 2 candles of support. When do we start getting bearish? As soon as, for me to start getting bearish is once we break 605.80. The first candle to close beneath, daily candle to close beneath 605.80, SPY is going to dump 10 to 15 points, right? We're going to come and fill the gap. We're at least going to go to 597, right? Best case scenario, we go to obviously the 584 level, but Trump is in power. Everything Trump is saying is bullish, right? There's no bearish news right now. Everything is bullish, more bullish, more bullish, more bullish, right? So everything's getting bought up. But we're at the stage right now where we're buying the news and then we're going to sell, right? So everyone's buying into the hype until everything starts getting overinflated. Everything starts being overbought, and that's when we are going to get our sell cycle, our bear cycle. Okay, so don't get puts in your brain right now, right? Don't be looking to try to time a top in this market. 605.80. I guarantee you're going to make a lot of money once we break the floor of 605.80, right? Until then, if you do decide to trade at all-time highs, at least let the charts develop a little bit more, okay? So let's put our levels back up on. Previous closing price, 609.75. This is the level to be watching. So that's pretty much the game plan for the day. 605.80. I'm going to make it big on my chart because this is a daily time frame level. And I'm going to make it red, right? So this big, thick red line. You scroll out on the daily and you're going to know once we break this level is when you start to get bearish. Until then, you're speculating and you're going to most likely lose money, right? You're going to have to keep adding and adding and adding, and then you're going to be like, oh, look, I was right. But yeah, you could have got in freaking 10 points later, right? So just keep that in mind. So daily candle close at the high of day. We haven't had that in a while. But we usually end up making a higher high. When we close at the high of the candle, we end up going higher, right? Just look at SPY's history. Every time the candle closes at the high of day, the next candle goes a little bit higher. And this is pretty much the exact candle that we have right now. And what ends up happening, we end up ripping $1, 2 points up, right? Before a resistance level could potentially occur. So right now, that's what we're paying attention to. It's one of these days, or we're in one of these markets right now where it's boring, right? It's a very, very boring market, and we just filled the gap. SPY is green right now. I don't see a trade. I'm not buying no man's land. No man's land is levels that SPY has never touched before, so we don't even if we were bullish, we have no idea where to sell the calls. But 610, big level. Just it's because it's a psychological level. SPY respects full and half dollar amounts the best. And you see, as soon as we get the 610, we immediately get that pullback. Let's just wait to see how much juice it actually has. Remember, don't get bearish. We have 5 points beneath of us before we could start getting bearish on the macro. Remember that. SPY could drop 5 full points before we get confirmation that it's bearish. And that just comes from the daily time frame. So again, don't swing puts. Wait for confirmation. Of course, if you buy 610 puts right now, a month out, you're most likely going to make money. Like, let's be real. But there's a chance it couldn't happen. So instead of having that risk of it may not happen, it's just waiting for the added confirmation, right? We need confirmation before any trade. YouTube, you guys alive or what? You guys are quiet today. I don't blame you, man. There's really not even much to talk about, to be honest. But I got some big plays coming up for you guys. I'm going to make a crazy video on it. Make sure you stay tuned for that this weekend. My swing trade. It's going to be stocks. And it's going to be and options, a little mix of both. And it's going to be a 7-figure position. So I'm very, very pumped for these potential setups. Thanks, George. Thanks, P-Funk. So right now, not too much of nothing, guys. We're holding above PCP. Remember, the previous closing price of a stock, if we're trading above it or at it, but above it, you shouldn't be looking for puts, right? Beneath the previous closing price, that's when you should be looking for puts. But even right here, it's so hard to trade a stock at all-time highs. I hate it because I'm more of a levels person, right? I love levels. I love seeing how I can go back in time to see how did we react to this on a big sell-off to that level, or how did we react to this, a big rip up to that level. We can actually go back historically and look at it, right? So when you are trading at new highs, what you got to do is sit on your hands and let the chart develop. It may even take a couple days to start getting in some good levels again, right? And that's just that's trading for you. weakness comes at 605.80. Remember that. The weakness on the macro comes in at 605.80. Look at my mouse here. Don't look for freaking puts until we break this line of my mouse at the 605.80s level. That is a macro bearish trend change. Once we get beneath that. So as I said, SPY can drop 5 points right now and still be bullish until we break that. And then look at all the open gaps we have. We have 1 gap to fill, 2 gaps to fill, 3 gaps to fill, 4 gaps to fill, right? We have a bunch of gaps to fill down beneath. So this is a buy cycle, the bull cycle. Don't think of puts as much as you want to. Like, this is so overbought. I'm not even gonna lie. Trump made me bullish as hell too. But I've experienced enough that even when Elon Musk or Apple or Meta, Nvidia, even though they're getting so much bullish news, guys, there's always, it's just a bull cycle. So just make sure if you're in long-term portfolio in crypto or any financial institute and market in general, this is the time to not be greedy, right? To start trimming. If you're a long-term investor, dollar cost averaging no matter what, then do your thing. Hold, right? But for right now, man, scary times. And I'm just talking about just the gaps on SPY in the last 7 trading days. That's it. I'm not talking about the market entirely. I'm just speaking of, and my opinion comes from just the last 7 days. I've seen this before. SPY will come back to 584 and fill the gaps. It's just going to take time. And the VIX is below 15 exactly well-being. So there's not going to be too much price action. Remember, when the VIX under $15, when the VIX is under $15, it's going to be 1-2 point range days. The big volatility comes when VIX is over $19. That's when you get those big moves, right? So it's just patiently waiting, keeping an eye on VIX, putting some trend lines down, and yeah. George, I don't know. We don't know, buddy. We've never been at this level. Of course, I'd probably sell now. That's me personally. Remember, when the VIX is under $15, the markets are not going to move too much, right? SPY won't move too much. So you're looking at a 1 to 2 point on the day, sometimes under that. Just from my experience, if I was in 609 calls like you, yeah, it would have been out personally, but I could be wrong. We could fly to 615. No idea. Always trim. You're always taking as you go, no matter what, right? Who cares if you buy or in 570 calls? Did you make money for the day? Cool. Don't think about it like, oh my God, we're at 610 now. Stop thinking like that. If you're a scalper and day trader, right? If you're a long-term investor, then hell yeah, you hold that stuff down, right? Whatever your plan is. But when you're a day trader and a scalper, almost every trade you hit, if you look at it at 359, you're going to be like, no, I had the bottom, or I had the top, or I had the best entry. Almost every trade you get, when you look back at it, everything's easy in hindsight. But when you're in that trade, you're like, I made my goal, I made my money, I'm out, I don't care what happens. And the longer you do that, is how you're going to find more success in the market. So we do got a lot of weakness so far at the 610 level. Let's take a look at the 30. 30 has definitely some retracing to do back to like 609.30 in my opinion. Just the way my moving averages are set up. Could be wrong, but yeah, I could definitely see a pullback to 609.20s. So if you did want to take puts, this is a straight speculation, but if I was to take puts right now, I would be in 610 puts, stop loss new high day, and I would ride this to the closest moving average on my chart. At these levels, you have to rely more on moving averages because we don't have levels, right? But the longer you trade, you're gonna just know that I work hard for my money. I'm not gonna throw it away and just try to gamble, right? This is not sports betting. We don't just YOLO options trades, right? This could potentially feed you for the rest of your life, right? So it's good to know a skill, get good at the skill, and be able to feed yourself forever, not just try to get rich quick. Thank you, P-Funk. Appreciate it, brother. It just comes down to having a game plan and risk management. You want to be able to make a couple $100 a day, right? Make 200, 300, $400 a day. You don't need to make the 4-figure days. Like that comes later, right? And you get lucky in life. I got lucky in life too. You get some big wins that just set you up for a while, right? But it's not luck, because when you're in the stock market, you're positioning yourself to get lucky. It's not just like a lottery ticket, right? You have, like, look at the AMC and the GME, and then you look at Nvidia, right? If you had like firm, what am I trying to say? If you believed in those companies, right? If you believed in them a lot, you're like, this is going up, and you buy, right? And you buy and you keep adding. You got to sell the move, right? And it's going to eventually go your way. You're going to make a lot of money, but it's what you do with that money after you make a lot of money. I made a lot of money very quickly without being educated too, and I've lost a lot of money too. So this is why we just need the proper tools, right? To be able just to pay our bills, right? Money comes eventually, but it's a slow grind. It's like anything in life. Options trading or stock trade or buying shares or trading futures. Everything, all the money comes within time. It's just mastering something. They say it takes 10,000 hours to master something. Just keep that in mind, right? 10,000 hours to master anything. And even people that master still take big losses. It's a stock market. If someone knew, one of your mentors knew every single thing to do and was the best trader ever, and they didn't lose, it's unheard of, right? They would be a multi-billionaire if they never lose. And I know I'm just talking your ears off, guys. I know. I don't see any trade. We're still in a freaking 30-cent move right now, so not too much to be watching. Let's look at some stocks. Write me some stocks. Anyone want me to look at something? Give me some stocks to look at. It's most likely everything's going to be oversold. Thanks, Pia. Appreciate it, brother. Let's look at Nvidia. I haven't actually looked at their chart for quite some time. Let's go to the daily. Nvidia looked like it just did a 618 retracement from the big drop from all-time highs. We could get a pullback to fill the gap at 140.89. That's what I would like Nvidia to do. I think calls around the 140 range to the 139 range is going, like that buck range is going to be a wicked opportunity potentially for calls for Nvidia. Let me look. Yeah, it's a good risk to reward, Greg. But remember, there's zero confirmation to be in a put. But you're probably gonna win. But you need to also know a stop loss, and it's also hard to get a stop loss going when you have no levels above. You don't know where to sell. Once we lose previous closing price, I have an empty. It's an empty pocket. Down $1.25, $1.50. Holy shit! Look at this pump. Told you, don't avoid freaking puts, man. Zero reason for puts. We do got news coming in. Did it just happen? Where's the news? Market news. 9:45, yeah. Manufacturing PMI and flash services PMI. And then at 10 a.m., we have existing home sales and revised consumer sentiment. 10 a.m., 2 orange folders. Trump's bullish on the stock market, right? The government's bullish on crypto. There's really no reason as of yet to be short biased. Just remember that, right? And you're gonna see a couple big companies. There's gonna be some that go down first, right? There's gonna be a couple big companies that go down first, and you'll be able to and it's gonna start bringing the SPY down. Remember, the daily is in a bullish structure right now. Remember, above PCP, don't even look for a short. Don't even look for it. I don't even care if this starts dropping right here. It's just good practice, right? You wait for the only level that we have. Yesterday's resistance, today's support, which is SPY's PCP previous closing price at 609.75. Until then, we're in no man's land. If you're buying calls up here, you're something else. But just remember how hard it takes to make money in this world, right? You need to protect it. You need to protect it and respect money no matter what. So I don't care if it's only $100. Like, get that mentality out of your head. I'm going to use some of yesterday's profits. I made a lot. No, get that out of your head. Just work on being consistent. What did you do? What did you do on your biggest wins, right? Why did you win? And then you look at why your biggest losses. Like, what did I do wrong here, right? And you study those and you fix them. And then at one point, it's going to give you PTSD, and you're not going to make the same mistakes again. Remember, we got news at 10 a.m. as well. And just, I want you guys to watch. Look at my chart right now if you're not watching. Whenever you, like, we follow trends, right? Whether it's an uptrend or downtrend, right? Which is a sloping support or sloping resistance. When you just see drops, like death drops, what ends up happening? We end up slow grinding all the way back up, right? So you get a steep drop, a slow grind, steep drop, and then look at when we get a steep rip, we get a little bit of a sell-off, right? Slow grind, slow grind, slow grind, slow grind. Deep drop, we come back up. Deep drop, we come back up. Now look at this run that we've been on, right? From the bottom. Look at that. It's literally been straight vertical. It's going to come back to retrace. And people could have been saying that at 597, right? People could have been saying that at 594. And look at, we're like 15 points away from that. This is why you just have to, even though you're like, I don't believe this move, and this is effery, it's good to think like that, but you just need the confirmation to be able to execute the trade, right? Just the confirmation, because I know people that were shorting 597 puts, 600 puts, 603 puts. Like, we're at almost at 611. You know what I mean? This is why waiting for the confirmation saves. Yeah, you won't short the top. Like, what if this is the top of the stock market for the next 6 months? We don't know that. We had no confirmation it was the top, it was the high. That's why if we get in at 605.80, right? We didn't, it's 6 points down or 5 points down, but at least we got confirmation, right? That's what we do. We just wait for the confirmation. That's it, George. You gotta respect it, right? You gotta respect money at all times. And the thing about this industry is some people make a lot of money very quickly, and they think they're the shit, right? They think they're the best trader in the world until they get humbled, right? And that's how I just know I know if you're a real trader if I meet you, right? A lot of people are BS in this industry, a lot of people, but you just know how when someone trades conservatively, they've lost a lot of money before and they're never going broke again. You see the guys hitting multiple hundred same-day contracts, this and that, all fraudsters. How? Because I do it for real, right? Real can identify real. You just know. Unless you're inherited friggin' millions of dollars, you trade like that. Like, to an everyday person, you respect every dollar that you make. And fast money never lasts. It's all about the slow grind. I remember there's this company called SYN. I forget when I hit it. I think it was like 2019 or 2018. There was zero reason for me to be in that stock. I ended up putting like 10 grand there and made 10 grand. And as soon as you make 10 grand, you're like, oh, this just changed my life forever. I know how to trade. And you just lose it all, right? Just from being uneducated. We've only moved one full dollar today. Just 1 point. That's it. No good trades. Oh yeah, bud. Me too. Me too. But you just do it. I was in Nokia. I was in BlackBerry, right? I was just riding the waves. You just gotta know it's okay to buy and trade risky assets as long as you're just riding the wave. If you see a big hype train behind it, you ride the wave, but you just don't hold hopes. Like I told you guys, a sniper bot that used to be here, that dude bought AMC with me at $10. It went to almost 70, and he ended up selling it at $10. Like, what is the point of that? Like, you're talking about you just made 70 grand and now you're worth, now it's just back to down to 10 grand. Like, it's sick to my stomach. You always got to sell the move, right? And my rule of thumb is if I ever catch a 100% gainer, I'm taking out my original investment and just letting house money ride. That's how you get that's how you have good risk, right? And it doesn't even have to be 100%. You go up 20% on a trade, take out your original investment, let your house money ride. You go up 50%, let the house money ride. That's it. Take the risk out of it, right? Always secure your bag, right? Always protect your bag. Remember, in this life, you need $1 million to protect your $1 million. If you have $1 million in your bank account, you need another $1 million just to secure that million. You always need to have like a foundation, no matter what. And this industry is expensive. You need money to make money in this industry. And if you don't, and you're trading funded, you have to abide by rules that are almost impossible to. It's almost impossible to be profitable for longevity, at least. I know a lot of people that pull out money, but for longevity, you're following way too many stupid rules, right? When you're in control of your own capital, it's different. Like, no, I don't ding at $2,000 down. My ding has a few more zeros to that, right? That's why you gotta protect it. No matter what it is, in and out, secure the bag. And I always said, if you go from trading a funded account to a real account, you'll treat a $50,000 funded account completely different than you would with $1,000 account in options. Because it's all psychological. You know, if you blow up, you could buy another one. When you put $1,000 in and you lose that, if you don't have another $1,000, you're effed. This is why trading with real capital is like, people think they're good traders when they're trading funded. It's like, yeah, you definitely have found a little bit of success in it, but long term, once you start putting real money in and you don't ding at 2,000, right? And you're not done for the day, that 2,000 can turn into a 10, 20K loss in seconds if you don't have proper risk management, right? But again, if you don't have capital, funded if that's for you, it's for you. It's just too much rules. Because how many people have bought a funded account before, get stopped out, but the trade ends up working, right? Everyone who's ever traded funded is gonna say that. What should we do? Someone want to learn something? Anyone struggling with something wants me to touch up on? Or any questions? Man, you would think everyone listening is a multi-millionaire because no one's asking questions. If you guys need help with something, let me know. Let's take a look. I don't even know what I'm looking at. I don't even know what to make of this. Okay, so compare value of trend lines with support and resistance lines. Easy. Okay, the I learned this from a YouTube video a decade ago about trend lines, and it's what I do. And I watched the video, and this is what I personally do. This is my experience with it. You don't have to follow this. I'm not claiming this is the best way, but when it comes down to trend lines, the most touch points is the stronger it is. So a lot of people just try to go tip to tip instead of trying to catch as many wicks as possible to the up or downside, right? And ever since I watched that, that's how I do my trend lines. Even some of people that I know used to be like, "Yo, you're doing them wrong. You're supposed to just do tip to tip." If you look, the more touch points to a trend line is it's a more validation of a trend, right? Either a resistance or a support. And it always, okay, so when it comes to value of trend lines, remember, I know people that just trade trend lines. There's some YouTubers out there that I've watched, and they find a little bit of success in it. The thing about a trend line is that it's not a level. It's like a psychological, like, trend break. And ideally, when you are trading trend lines, you're going against the trend, right? So if you're getting a nice bullish run up to a sloping resistance, you're shorting a powerful move. And when you're coming down, selling off to a sloping support, you're buying calls off of it, you're technically going against the trend as well, right? And breakouts could happen in either direct, breakouts and breakdowns. So trend lines, I wouldn't buy off a trend line, like, if I were you, as long as they line up with a level of yours or an idea or a speculation of of the trade that you want to get into, especially on the macro, 4 hour and daily. Those are the most powerful trend lines. Of course, weekly trend lines too. You just scroll out, do the last like 5-6 days. And you don't just buy at it. So say my trend was, my sloping resistance on the macro is at 6:10:55, the high of this wick, right? You don't just click short right here. I would personally let it break through a level that it's near, a big level, and on the resistance I short, right? It's the same strategy that I do. But when it comes to trend lines, I would, like macro swing trading ones, it's very extremely high risk because fake outs happen. And pretty much on a macro trend, sloping support or resistance, you're ideally swing trading against the trend, which is stupid, right? But I guess in the macro you're following the trend, but it depends on, and it all depends on how fast we get to the trend line, right? It depends on speed too. A lot of people don't get that. When you're trading trend lines and key levels, what else you got to take in consideration is how fast it took us to get to that level, right? If we start friggin' skyrocketing and blow through a level, you're probably gonna want to avoid shorts, and you're gonna know it's gonna go a lot higher, right? It's speed too. You got to take in consideration how long. Is it a slow grind up to this level? Is it a rocket up to this level or a dump to this level? You have to watch the speed. It's not just levels. It's a lot of things to take in consideration. Your moving average. If you use indicators, what are your indicators telling you, right? Because they're all lagging. All indicators are lagging indicators. But it's good to know, get an idea, right? Me, I only use moving averages. I like them, and I trust it. Anyways, we're breaking through PCP right now. We got a big 5-minute bearish candle. If we end up rejecting PCP, we're going to go to 609.19. And if we lose that, it's going to drop to 608.25. still don't care for puts. Your 606 put that expires today, there's probably nothing left to it, so you might as well hold it till it expires, right? Am I right? But for us to sell off to 606 and for those to go in the money, it needs quite a lot of liquidity to leave the market to dump this 4 points. VIX is not elevated. Sorry, we're under 15. There's going to be no big move, in my opinion. We're going to sit in $1, $2 range. Remember, keep an eye on the VIX. When the VIX is under $15, it is stagnant. The markets are stagnant. We're not going to get nothing too drastic when it comes to that. You bought it for 32 cents and it's at 15. I would cut it personally. Maybe you can get some out of it. I'm not 100% sure. I don't like answering questions when it comes to someone being in a losing trade, honestly, because like you could be right holding it down, but like from I just talk about everything from like a personal experience, and those usually go to shit. Excuse my French, but and you should never swing trade blindly, to be honest. It happens. You're gonna do it, and I know it's only $32, but yo, that's $15, man. Think about every dollar. I don't care if it's just $15. Like that could have bought you lunch today, but no, you just gave it to a market maker, right? That's how you got to think of it. I don't care if it's you lose $10. It's the principle of being able to respect money. You don't throw away anything. You disrespect money, money will be taken from you. If you respect money, money will be given to you. Like that's just what I believe in. When I used to ball out and when I was first making some money, started showing money off, blah blah blah, yo, they take it from you. we're above PCP. We're avoiding puts. If you did take a short, you have to sell it at PCP because that's exactly where we could bounce from. Stop guessing. Stop guessing and doing stupid things. Make a plan and stick to it. And just the level we're trading at right now, god damn, you got to be selling every freaking candle. Every candle, just sell the move. Remember, always be watching all the financial markets. Watch for money to be entering, staying, or leaving financial markets. It's crazy. The fear and greed index is neutral. I just looked at that. That's crazy. That's cap. Cap, 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 cap. You could believe that if you want to. I don't. Oh, it says 1 week ago it was at fear, and now we're almost in the greed. And that makes sense, actually. I still don't trust it, though. But again, I'm bullish above 605.80. We were able to identify that on the daily time frame. 605.80. This level here, we get bearish once we close under this level because that is a macro break of structure. Good job, Greg. Quick 20 cents, 22 cents. Amazing work. Greg, you got to treat those contracts the same in both directions, right? You can't hold 5 months out puts and be like, it's okay, I got 5 months, right? But then when it starts going in your direction, you sell for 20 cents. You got to treat both directions of your trade the exact same. Because one day you could get burned just because you're buying safer contracts, right? Just keep that in mind. If you're not going to sell 20 cents against you, don't sell 20 cents for you. You get me? It's like your risk to reward. It has to be at least 1 to 2, 1 to 3. So if you're going to risk 20 cents, if you're going to risk 30 cents on your contracts, you better hope you're making at least 60 cents to 90 cents. Good job, Greg. Good. I just meant for your risk, right? But yeah, amazing work. You can't complain about that. I like how you went safe. Good job. Thad, did I answer your question, or did you want me to speak more on it? I can't even remember where I left off. I apologize. We're pretty much, we use trend lines. We don't buy off of them. We just play the closest key level to the trend line in easy terms, right? We're not buying at a sloping support or sloping resistance, because that is like you're playing the lottery going against a trend. We wait for the rejection or support, and then we play the closest key level to us. That's how I play trend lines. Remember, guys, keep an eye out on the swing trading. Accident's been crushing it, so show him some love. He's just helping out the community. So make sure you just keep an eye on the swing trading if you're interested in swing trading. He uses a small account, small size, right, and he finds success doing it like that. And remember, like, your success in trading is going to be completely different than mine. Your strategy of trading is going to be completely different than mine. That's why it's always good to have as much education as possible, right? When you're bored on the weekend, on the toilet, doesn't matter what you're doing, you should just be watching like YouTube videos of anyone who posts content of trading, right? Obviously, stay away from the gimmicks of indicators, buying and selling indicators. Oh, my indicators are so accurate, or the 13 EMA 9 or 13.9 EMA cross. Stay away from that type of shit. I guess it does work sometimes with trend, but we just don't rely on them, right? Like I said, I use my indicators for trend. I don't use my indicators to buy off of. The only time I'll buy off one is the 200 EMA on the 5-minute and the 50 moving average on the 5 and 30. I'll buy those trend lines. Or sorry, I'll buy those moving averages. This is SPY's last level of resistance. We're either gonna make a resistance at PCP for the next leg down into the 608s, or it was a break, come back above, we hold and we rock it. %, Greg. Trust nothing, no matter how much time you have on your contracts. Best believe that. My biggest losses were the safest contracts. When you start going far out, you think you have time until you don't have any risk management in play, and the stock keeps going against you and against you and against you, and you think you have time. Oh yeah, bud. All right, now we're creating resistance at PCP. I just put a link to the Discord down below on YouTube. If anyone's listening, you guys would like to come check us out for a week for free on me, let me know. Just click the link, and once you click it, DM me, and I'll give you access if you guys are interested. Because I only go live on YouTube once a week. And if money's an issue, you can't afford nothing, I got you. So let me know. Just click the link and then DM me immediately on Discord. So we ended up making a roof at SPY's previous closing price, 609.75. Looking for some weakness, right? We knew we can come down to the 609.18 level, 609.19 level. If we end up rejecting that, it's going to be puts down a buck. But we could bounce at any level from here, right? Just looking at the pre-market and the after hours resistance levels, we could end up making this a support to go higher. The ultra levels to be going bearish at, again, 605.80. So just patiently wait. Yo, P-Funk and George, DM, click that link and come join us for Monday. Just give me a DM on Discord. And I'll give you guys access for the week. And if you need longer, if there's any issue, just let me know. All right, guys, I'm going to get going for the day. I hate this chart setup right now. Again, the VIX is so low right now. There's not going to be too big of a move. SPY's still bullish. And I just wait, right? Wait for some levels. Let the markets digest all the news this weekend, right? And we'll see how we open up. We're going to be keeping an eye on Bitcoin. Bitcoin's gaining liquidity as we speak, heading towards all-time highs. So I'm going to just avoid calls and puts. I don't want calls. Because the reason why I don't want calls, and I'm telling you it's bullish, is because I don't have a price target to sell. And when I'm entering a trade, I need to know where I'm taking profits at, right? So hopefully we get some nice levels. I'm going to be watching the Qs and the S&P 500 on Sunday, right? Following the chart, make some levels on ES and whatnot, and we will end up making some good trades. We just need some levels first, right? Right now it's showing a little bit of weakness. And nothing too much to to do anything. So YouTube, if you guys are listening, click that link. Let me know if it works. First of all, I have no idea if it works. Give it a click, join, and send me a direct message on Discord. Right, my name's Sniper on Discord. Just go to announcements, click my name, and let me know. Just tell me who your username on YouTube, and I'll hook you guys up for next week. So thank you guys so much. Thank you. Oh, hold on. Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate you guys. Let's have a good, safe weekend, right? Remember, there's no such thing as too much education. If you have some downtime, always touch up on your game. Always find someone who's good with candlesticks, right? Study them. Like Ray Orteo, he's very good. I used him years ago, right? He's very good. Some other YouTubers, I don't know. I forget the names. But yeah, just tune up, man. Whatever they do, everyone trades a different strategy, right? Everyone trades a different ticker. Always be tuning up on your game no matter what. You are never too good to stop learning. Remember that. So thank you guys for being here. Take care, and I'll see everyone on Monday morning. Take care, guys.